Hello. OBS decided it wanted to update. And here we are. We are back. Hey Zilin. Because we're pressed on time. Hey Steven Fuchsia. As we're pressed on time, first topic come first served. Hey Pacobra, Rooney, Zilin, Fuchsia, Steven, Mel, Uber Blackthorn. How's it going? Hey Gria. Angel Addict. Alright, Angel Addict it is. Angel Addict. Hey Spectre. Hey Narada, how's it going? Welcome back. Okay, so Angel Addict. And I want to, of course, make it into a fantasy category. So, Angel Addict, that could be, let's say, a demon. A warlock, evil demon warlock, who is, let's say, like the closest analogy that came to my mind is Darth Maul. And he's addicted to angels, in the sense that he, like there is Angelarium, yeah, there's a beautiful, beautiful topics, paintings. I mean, not topics. New haircut? No, it's the same. It's just I had a shower, and it's fluffy. But I have groomed myself in quarantine haircut, yes. Yeah, Peter Moorbacher is a cool illustrator. Anyways, what I was saying is, yeah, like the Indian religious following, cult, or whatever they could be labeled as, sadhu, right? They are like death worshippers and yogis, right? So they, as far as I know, I might be wrong, but as far as I know, they believe in like corruption of the body brings you closer to spiritual enlightenment. This is, I'm kind of paraphrasing and kind of probably misunderstanding, but there's, to some degree, it's about like allowing yourself the sins of man in order to reach higher heights through meditation and dedication. Yeah, I think that's kind of like sadhu. Hey Brandon, how's it going? Yeah, so in my mind, this how he's addicted to angels is that he, the sadhus, some of them, they are dealing with like human skeletons, right? They smear their faces with ash from burnt skeletons. So I was thinking, as my mind, I had to find a solution to angel addict. As I wanted to do fantasy, I thought, okay, so this evil demon, a warlock, let's say, is killing angels and burning burning their bodies, and then well, snorts it, I guess, and that's how he is addicted. Pacobra Angelarium is a body of work from uh, an artist called Peter Moorbacher, I think. It's really cool illustrations. They're beautiful. He's a really good painter. It's fascinating to see. So that's on the back to the topic of this today's prompt. That's how he's yeah, addicted to angels. That's my solution to this topic, angel addict. Because you could also make I think the go-to move would be an angel that is an addict. That would be like the most I think that would be the if everyone would do the topic, I would guess that would be the highest amount of interpretations of the topic we would see. Angel addict, as in a literal interpretation. I'm not saying it's anything wrong. I'm just saying that that's most likely what people would assume to draw, right? Because it's what the topic says, and it's easy to do that in the sense that it's a straightforward, it's not that tricky. But I always try in these situations. I always try to come up with some twist to it. Like I explained the other day about designs standing in the test of time. The idea usually, rather than technique, stands the test of time, right? So if you have a great idea, it trumps age. Narrator. I mean, as long as there's no visible nipples, I think we're good. That's so funny. You can play murder games on Twitch and shoot things and kill people, but please no nipples. Yeah, the forbidden nipple. The most dangerous of all. Absolutely. How dare you? One second, I just need to perform genocide. Excuse me, nipple. Oh no nipples. Sorry. Hey Travis, how's it going? And on that topic, there is an art book called Hardcover, which started its Kickstarter yesterday, and it's an art book for adults. Here's the link. It's the second edition. I am personally in both editions, so this is the second time around. It's a really cool art book. The whole idea of it, the whole idea of that art book is that, like I said, you're not allowed to even show nipples on a lot of these platforms that everyone uses, right? But you can show murder and death and violence without any issues. and we are all naked underneath clothes, right? We are all beings of sexuality, or at least most of us, and yet we are not allowed to express that in any way on most social media platforms, or most platforms in general. So this art book is kind of like a statement in a way towards that. Yet we can't show any of the pictures online because, for example, if you would show a cropped picture of what everyone's been doing on Kickstarter, the Kickstarter wouldn't be allowed. We tried that on the first Kickstarter, and the first project was not approved by Kickstarter because there was pictures. So weird, so stupid. Anyways, it's a cool project, beautiful art in it by some really skilled artists. Hey Marius Bota, how's it going? Zealid. Yeah, it's the opposite really. I would show you the first edition book, volume one, but I can't show it on Twitch unless I like block with my hand over the picture and you can see the peripherals. Marius Bota, I'm all good. I'm all good. But it's a different book, I must say, and it's definitely not for prude or faint-hearted people. The hardcover. It's explicit sexual pictures, kind of, but painted. Spectre, no, on Twitch you're not allowed to show anything of the nipples or I guess genitals, or on any platform. You know, but to some degree, I understand because on Facebook, for example, or Instagram, there's also children, even though they most likely probably shouldn't. But they need to come up with some sort of passport, content passport. Like if you are 15 or less, you get the light version of of Facebook, where there's heavy filtering, right? And if you are above that, anything goes really. In a hardcover book, yeah, the whole idea hardcover, right? Hardcore, hard the depiction. So it's not like most of the pictures are not suggestive. They are how to explain it? They depict uh, intercourse of whatever the artist finds attractive. Um, so that's uh, that's the difference really. There's a lot of depiction of there's a full rainbow of different whatever you like is in that book. That's the fascinating thing about the book. Rooney. Well, I have to draw a separation there actually for breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is act of nature. You're feeding a baby. It's not anything sexual. And I find it strange that people saying that breasts are sexual organs or genitals. It's like, no. Men can walk around without a shirt, right? And no one is like, nipple, hide it. Yet women have also nipples, but for them it's a genitals. It's like what are you talking about? Travis, estimated delivery? I'm not sure. I'm not a part of organizing the shipping. Whatever says on the website is what you have to expect. Hey, Morphe, how's it going? Rooney, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, yeah, for me, yeah. But I'm just talking about whatever. Anyways, it's a cool art book. If you're interested in those kind of things, seeing people's different orientations and what they find sexy and how they depict that in paintings, that's the book for you. There's some really, really good artists in there. Uh, Kim Jung-Yi is in both editions. There's a lot of good names. I mean, just look at that splash page on the Kickstarter. Um, they write down some of the names, and I mean, come on. Marius Bota, yeah, absolutely. They have to be offended by something. For me, it's completely fine if you breastfeed your baby in public. Maybe not in the table next to me while I'm having dinner. You can do that a little bit more cleaner, you know. Go maybe to a more private corner of the place, or you know, maybe not just flop it out. Uh, but that's exception to the rule, really. I don't mind at all. You know, my wife, she breastfed both our babies, and in public and in restaurants. But she put, uh, well, not to try not to in the restaurants, but sometimes you had to. But she covered the whole baby in something and hid everything, you know, so that people don't scream heathen while mouthful of pizza. Hey Gary, how's it going? Matters about that, yeah. But sexuality, uh, I think the problem with that is religion. Let's not go into that discussion, but because in a lot of religions, our uh, sexuality is something always a topic, right? Regardless of which religion you have, there's always a huge chapter in any religious writing about sexuality. That is something that needs to be controlled. Let's let's leave that at that. But it's an interesting thing, though. But I think what a lot of people, I was thinking about that actually the other day about I was thinking about America, and I've been now and then I watch oh Spectre. Yeah, you can't show them. You can't show the pictures. You can show censored images, and there are some of them. Uh, but yeah, how can you show picture that depict a sexual act with crop a corner? Is there any point in showing a cropped corner of a painting? Anyways, let me get back to my point. Um, I've been watching these kind of police interactions on YouTube. I'm gone down that rabbit hole recently, and uh, and I keep thinking about, like comparatively to my upbringing versus American upbringing, is that the everything is ramped up in America. Like crazy people are crazier. Police officers have more guns. Uh, all those things, and and I was thinking about that, and also in conjunction with hardcover being released yesterday, and I was painting last night and contemplating over regulations and kind of that you have to maintain, and again back to the topic of religion, like that a lot of religions contain sexuality or suppress sexuality, and like it's illegal and all that. Um, and I was thinking in those lines that, I mean, America must look the way that America does because there is a lot of trying to suppress and control, and then there is rebellion against the suppress and control, and then they up the suppress and control to try to maintain the oppression, or the rising, right, of opinion, and then that builds, and then that builds, and then that builds. Versus, let's say, in a country, um, comparatively, like in, let's say, Sweden, where the government really isn't controlling, but the people are controlling themselves, which is like the whole, like, you're an adult, act like it behavior, kind of, where the social aspect dictates more. Um, for the longest time, me growing up, police officers didn't have really pistols. They have now, for sure. But for the longest time, they only had batons and spray. No pistols. But then people started using more weapons, so the police needed to up, and Pacobra. No, my dark fantasy is not inspired by Peter's work. No, I sell work. If you mean prints, I do. I some of them, but I'm going to ramp up my print store in conjunction with my monster book. Rooney, I am originally from Sweden, yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point because that's a special morning, right? Not to talk about any religion in specifics, but it's fascinating. I personally, I am not religious. I can't subscribe to it. Pacobra, that's cool. That's cool. There is some prints available already. Mostly on my print store, there is a lot of steampunk Star Wars. That whole series are available, and maybe 3 or 4 illustrations. But it'll be. I will ramp up the print with in conjunction with my book. That's going to be released this year. And I'm gonna put up some illustrations and things like that. I haven't just cared for it because it doesn't make that much money. Maybe that's also. Oh, really, Travis? That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's. I must say, um, the book itself, the first volume, is real. It's really thick. It's really like high quality. Um, I can't show any. It's a high quality print. Um, really good material. Everything is like really well made. So I can't wait to see the next one. My book, Pacobra, it'll be dark fantasy monster book. So I have offline painted a lot of different other illustrations on my dark fantasy line. Some of them I've streamed at Friday nights and finished offline. I also scanned a lot of pages that are monsters from my sketchbooks. So there's going to be a mix of painted monsters and then sketchbook pages, all kind of arranged, cut out and arranged. So it's an interesting. Uh, I think it's an interesting book, personally. Uh, of course, I'm biased, but I haven't seen that many art books in that way, so I'm pumped. What's like coffee? Well, thank you. The monster book I hope will be a success and people will like it. And in the book, on some of the paintings, they're also going to be like selected areas of the painting that is blown up, so that you have like a zoom in collage of the painting on the other side, so you can see some of the painting details and brushwork and so on. Because a lot of the things I do is you know, suggestive marks and interesting color combinations and things like that. So I thought that would be a cool thing to have people see as well. So they're just don't see the painting, but they can also see on some selected uh, pages they can see like a zoom crops. Oh, I it's Corona confirmed, right? Vanity's Fall. The book, the Kickstarter. Obviously, I need a Kickstarter because it costs a lot of money to print an art book and send it. Um, but the Kickstarter should be done, and the book should be ready to be sent this year. So probably towards the end of this year, um, everything will be ideally will be done and dusted, and Kickstarter is uh, finished and funded towards the end of the year. That's the general plan. Vanity's Fall. Well, yeah, yeah. I think the cool thing is that most of the paintings uh, are finished. I have some to to finish and do some selecting and you know, but all the scanning and all those things, everything is already done since the end of last year. So we are literally just waiting um, for Spiridon. Spiridon will publish, uh, or he will help set that up, right? So he makes the book and he has publishing agreements and so on. We're waiting for more or less my slot, and we want to take time to make a good book, obviously. So we're not rushing it. We are carefully putting it all together, and but this year for sure. It's gonna be. I don't. I doubt it's gonna be funded in 10 minutes. But if that happens, that would be amazing. But it's gonna be hard without, uh, like you say, having nipples in it. Maybe I should. Why I wanted to do it? Because I like sharing my ideas. I think there isn't a lot of art books out there that have my kind of ideas and interpretations of things. And personally, I'd like more of me in the world. So seeing a book that I have done and that I created that I can show someone else and they can flip through it and be invited into my mind. Um, I think one of my biggest issues is the untangibility of my work, because most of it is digital. And yes, you can download a game. Yes, you can hold a game in your hand and go, "Hey, I can say I've done things in this for this," but there's an abstraction in all of it. So I used to paint a lot on canvas, and I used to sell paintings, and I used to give paintings away, and it's this kind of physicality to it, and I think I miss that a lot. And having a book, a singular book of only my work in it, because I've been in 40, 50 art books, uh, and I have like a couple of paintings on that page, a painting on that page, and there's not really the same thing as saying this is me. Right? So that's one of the big reasons why I want. Dark fantasy. I think I just wanted to dive into a little bit of, because in a lot of fantasy there is this kind of uh, cleaned up version of it in fantasy, that there isn't really the rawness or the maturity or the gruesomeness of other games or worlds or IPs. And I just wanted to experiment to see, what a tooth fairy could look like if you were allowed to make it evil. Hey Shaman, how's it going? Spectre, I have no traditional work online. Um, I used to paint like these 2 meter oil paintings of strange humans. I sold quite a lot of them actually to law firms and to some famous Swedish musicians, and had exhibitions. But I I stopped painting. Anyways, uh, let's find someone to rate. Swedish death metal band, uh, or hip hop artists actually. Who to rate? Should we go into art category again? Hmm. Actually, no. Let's raid someone that we haven't raided. I think we only raided once. So let me type out the name. Okay, we're gonna raid a 3D guy. He's doing a spaceship. So let's see what that happens. It looks pretty interesting. So have a great day. Good night if you're that part of the world. See you guys tomorrow morning. Friday. Is it Friday? What? Thursday tomorrow. Thursday tomorrow. Anyways, have a good one. Outro, then raid. Toodles.